You know what frustrates students the most is missing the target. And they always wonder what the hell it is. Is it the grip? Is it the stance? Is it the trigger control? Is it the sight picture? You know, technically it's most likely your grip. And large percentage of people tend to not hold the gun properly. So today's video, we're gonna have some cool little features here. We're gonna do some slow motion camera work. We're gonna do some fast camera work. And we're gonna show you why the one problem that solves 90% of your accuracy is in the grip. And by the end of this video, if you stay tuned to the end, you're gonna find out maybe you're not holding the gun properly, and I'm gonna give you the secrets to being accurate with a pistol once and for all. So I'm gonna show you what a bad grip looks like, and then we're gonna do some actual slow motion work on it to kind of show you why it's a bad grip. And a lot of these grips I'm going to show you today are ones you're doing, ones you're actually putting together, and we've been shooting like that for years. You'll find immediately when you fix your grip, your accuracy will improve. So let me grab a yellow gun and kind of go through a grip with you real quick. There are a few common grips that we see students do on a regular basis, especially here at the range, that they either have been doing it for a while or whatever it is. But you got to remember one thing: the true control of the pistol comes from the grip. It really doesn't come from anything else besides the grip. Maybe a little chest work, and I'll explain that to you in a little bit. But you've got to control the pistol to be accurate with the pistol. So let me show you a couple of bad grips that I see on a regular basis. The first one is the tuck thumb grip, and this is basically what happens is this thumb is down, and then you take your other hand and you kind of play it like this. Now the reason why this grip would feel like you have more control because you're squeezing your hands around and pressing your thumb against this firearm here, and that causes a lot of drift on the pistol, or thumb pressure. It's called thumbing, and we don't want that. Secondary thing, if you really mathematically think about it, when we're holding a pistol in our hand, only 3 fingers right here on the dominant hand are holding up the pistol, and these 4 fingers are gripping the pistol. These are controlling the pistol, these are gripping the pistol. And when the firearm itself is being manipulated by a side pressure, it becomes an accuracy problem for us tremendously. It causes us really to over torque with our dominant hand, and when you over torque with your dominant hand, that causes a lot of inaccuracy as well. So let me demonstrate what I want you to do. Is I want you to lift your thumb and make that void, and when you make that void, you're going to move your thumbs behind each other just like that, and then drive it out to the target. If you drive it out towards the target like this, you complete 360-degree control of the firearm. And I think this grip here, it's called the 2 thumbs forward grip, is a more controlling, more equalization of pressure on the firearm, and it's going to make you more accurate. All right, so secondary grip we see an awful lot of is the 2 thumbs forward grip. You've watched a bunch of videos and you paid attention, but you're gapping a lot. You're not really putting your hands back into the gun, and look here, you're not really getting high on the tank, and maybe you're not on the trigger well either down here, and that just doesn't give us enough power, and it allows a lot of muzzle flip. If you kind of pay attention, if I am not here and I am not all the way up, you can see how the firearm could muzzle flip a little bit. But if I change my grip, get high on the tang, and try to push up on the firearm, you get very little movement at that point in time. What tends to happen with students is they just lose control because they're not gripping it hard enough. And obviously, any kind of teacupping is not there's no, how can our non-dominant hand, which is supposed to be 60% of how we're going to control the pistol, if it's down here underneath it. This is called teacupping. We know teacup. We're not the range to have crumpets. We're here to hit bullseyes or shoot well. And a lot of times gripping the pistol properly is the key foundation to being accurate. So let me show you that grip one more time for the positive grip you can do. Start off with your dominant hand and get high on the tang, as high as you can. And then what you want to do there is you built the void. Once you built that void, go ahead and put your other hand in there. And here's a little secret for you, gentlemen. You want to drive the pistol with your chest muscles instead of your hands. I always ask students to the imaginary orange, and I make this the orange, and I say grab a hold of the orange, and most people want to grab it like this. Well, when we're gripping a firearm like this, we're not really getting that 360 degree control. When we put the weapon out in front of us and squeeze our hands together, that makes our pecs fire, gentlemen. And then at that point in time, we're going to hold the front and grip the back, and we're going to get 360 around the firearm. That looks sort of like this. High tang, thumbs, press, drive, keep the weapon out in front of us. Now, ladies, you're not going to do that because you have a pec, but it's underneath your boob and not on top of your boob. A man's pec is on top of his boob. So what you want to do mostly is to push and pull, ladies. Push out and pull back. And as you get that, you'll start keeping that weapon more level and up over your dominant eye. Coming up next is the slow motion part of this video. What we did is we took the crush grip, laid it out. I did some verbiage over these because when you're doing slow motion, you really can't talk. So I did the crush grip, I did a thumbs forward grip, but still gapping. I want you to pay attention to the tang, this part of the firearm up here. I want you to pay attention down here as well. Watch the gappiness and watch how the gun just moves. Yeah, you can tell with these two grips that I personally, accuracy would be a real problem for me. And the final one is me gripping the gun properly and shooting it. All three of these are real eye openers to pay attention to what you're doing to the firearm. It's a little lengthy because of slow motion, but there's so much value to this. You gotta stay and pay attention to it. Here it comes. as you see in them slow motion videos, you can see how control of the weapon is almost not there. You see how much they muzzle flip at both those grips, and that final one where I'm controlling the weapon, you can see how level the pistol stayed, and that's going to help with accuracy as well. A proper grip's going to level the pistol and allow it to return back to sight alignment very quick, and makes it easier for us to become more accurate and return the weapon back to the target. Pretty simple, pretty easy. The simple thing about it is it's one thing, guys, that you can solve and will increase your accuracy. You know, shooting a pistol is not complicated, but it is complex, and there's a lot of little things that cause you to be inaccurate, like too much finger in the gun, or too much pressure on the weapon, or not proper stance and things like that. But you can see where the grip itself is the only thing, touch work, that's the only thing really controlling the weapon. And we can't really control it 100% with both hands. Matter of fact, if we over torque, we cause ourselves problems. We under torque, we have ourselves problems. We need to be right where we need to be, which is that perfect 60-40 split. That is your dominant hand would be 40%, and your non-dominant hand would be 60. Pressing and driving, you'll keep the weapon level, and as you cut the shot itself, it'll rise and fall, rise and fall, rise and fall. Here's a tip for you. If you are cutting your shots and your front post is dipping, you most likely aren't locking out well enough, and you may be pulling the trigger versus pressing the trigger. Watch for that, because it's imperative. What we're looking for mostly in live shooting is the weapon to rise and fall back into your line of sight, not dip during the shot. That dipping during the shot is going to cause a lot of low shots as well. I'm going to do a little bit of live demonstration here for you. We're going to do left-right targets. We're going to take this left target, and I'm just going to do some crappy gripping. Probably do the crush grip on it and try to shoot you 5 shots there to kind of show you. And then we're going to do the far right target. We're going to put a proper grip together, just for you to see it. You've seen it in slow motion. Now you're going to see it in live view here. And we need to concentrate on getting all these systems down. It'll make you more accurate. Proper grip is one of those things that people take for granted, and it's so important that you need to really focus on it. So I have the Smith & Wesson Shield X. If you hadn't had an opportunity to shoot this shit, it is a phenomenal pistol. It's got a very nice trigger. It's got tritium front post. It's got optic ready. Magazines are super light to load. Pretty simple, pretty easy. I got my muffs. You got yours? All right, let's do this. All right. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to crazily high gap it, and I'm going to thumb crush it at the same time, and we'll see how I do on that left target. Show you something though on that. Look where that first shot went. Look how low that first shot went. What we expected to shoot to the left for having that crappy of a grip at short distances, where we get a lot of muzzle flip there. Now we'll do this side here with a proper grip. Now, get it high on the tang, as high as I can. I'm going to lift my thumb. I'm going to wrap my hands. I'm going to put it out in front of me, bouncing on my knees just a little bit. Bring it out. Look at my sight system. Press the trigger. Okay, grip's a little bit better. Let me tighten my grip now. Our grip, drive with our chest, trigger, real like trigger. Turn my chin just a little bit. And let's see if we can focus on getting them all in that 10. As we talked before, it's a positive, right? We got a high on the tang being positive there. We're gonna get that second hand in here like this, and we're gonna drive with our chest muscles, and look what happens to your groups when you do that. It's a tighter window for us. Let me put the camera back to where it needs to be, and we'll finalize this video. Guys, there's no magic pill to make you accurate at the range. You just need to work the biomechanics of controlling the pistol and stop letting the pistol work you. We need to control the weapon. We need to press the trigger. We need to return the weapon to the normal sight system and cut the shot again. I demonstrated that for you. If you do it, your grips will tighten up. Now, a lot of people will accept that for defensive purposes. That's 3 yards. It's not bad, but this feels a lot better to me. It makes me feel more comfortable. It makes me trust that where I'm pointing the weapon is where the bullet's gonna go, and that's key for us. Guys, as a firearms instructor who specializes in you, I put a lot of things together for you to make you more accurate. We're putting together the school community now. We've got our Facebook group we do our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, all the stuff like that. Anywhere you find us, please make sure that you do what you need to do, whether it's subscribe, whether it's like, whether it's share, or whatever it is. If you found some value in this, it would help us out tremendously and let other people know about us. There's 43,000 of you, almost 44,000 of you now, and I appreciate each and every one of you. We have our masterclass coming up in beginning of December 1st. That's 4-week masterclass that's going to work getting you to become the best shooter you can be. We're going to give you the foundation and why you miss. And each week we're going to give you a drill, some homework for you to do, and at the end of it you turn it in the following week for us to review it and tell you what you're doing wrong. I think that's the biggest thing I can give you as a firearms instructor, is to educate you what you're doing wrong so we can fix it and you're not doing it wrong again. So shooting low and left and all that stuff is things that are just in a couple little tweaks and you can solve them. That's what I do for a living. My name's John Johnson and I specialize in you. I have this beautiful gun range here that you can always come shoot with us, or you can take one of our classes. That master class is throughout the United States. You don't need to come to us. We give you the drills, we give you the techniques, and then you take it to your local range and shoot it. It's like having your own private little firearms instructor in your back pocket. That's what I do for a living. Don't forget about our lives. We do our lives every Tuesday, and those are called the Accuracy Hour, and that is tips, tricks, and drills that will make you more accurate. That's the whole idea of this channel, was to motivate, educate, and entertain, and I hope I do that for you. If you like this type of stuff, you're going to love our community-based school. You're going to love our Facebook groups. You're going to love a lot of different stuff. We give full value for you. You know, accuracy is not complicated. It's complex, and you need to know the system. There is no magic pill. It's just going to do the hard work and try to figure it out yourself. It's kind of hard to do. That's where I come in. If you want to get one of our ebooks, they're in the description down below. What are they about? They're about grip and stance and trigger control and sight picture and sight alignment. Come along with me to the next video. I think you'll find it just as exciting as this one. Until next time, God bless, be safe, and remember, you are your first line of defense. Love you guys.